Hey guys, 2-ton Asher here. So, like I promised, I finished this box here. Completely rebuilt it. I promised you all a video, and here we go. We're gonna make another video on these completed, new and improved mining enclosures. So as you can see, I've got them all finished now. They're all up on blocks now. I rebuilt both of these boxes, made them shorter, so they're now only 3 feet high and 4 feet wide. And I also put the baffles inside. I guess that is the correct term for that piece of wood that I put inside. Let's see here. I'll show you guys what I did. So, in here we got the NVIDIA rigs. So as you can see, I put these baffles in here, air redirectors, whatever you want to call them. Somebody in Discord, Bitsby Trippin' Discord channel, Ara, he called them baffles. So that's the term I'm going to use. These baffles work fantastic. They redirect the air incoming from the filters here. Move them directly over the cards and provide way better cooling. So it just goes right through the filters. This baffle moves that air directly over the GPUs, up and out of the exhaust. Works very, very nice. I'll show you guys some temperatures here in a bit. It's the same way. I changed out the those square filters. Replaced the sides of this box so that I can utilize these 12 by 24 by 1 air filters. They work fantastic. Yeah, guys. So I had a couple of questions. A lot of guys were asking me, why am I even doing this? Why don't you just put your rigs in the house where it's more secure? And there's really only one reason. This many rigs, I've got 11 rigs here. This many rigs inside the house is brutal hot. I cannot keep the AC is just not enough. When I had all these rigs inside the house last year, the house was at, it stayed at 100 degrees inside. It was miserable. So I had to come up with some kind of cooling solution. And, I don't have the space inside, like a dedicated room that I could use to build, to put the mining rigs in. Because if I had a spare room, I would convert that into a hot aisle, cold aisle type scenario. But being that I don't have the room, I had to come up with something else. So having this many rigs, I had to build individual boxes. Now I contemplating ripping these boxes down and making one gigantic box just to put all my rigs in. That still may happen, maybe next year or something like that. But for right now, this works very well. I mean, the only thing I can think of, I was thinking of converting this whole porch into like a gigantic, rig room. I even got the okay from my landlord, but that's not going to happen now. Right now, these things are working fantastic. Fantastic. But yeah, what else? I guess I'll go inside and show you guys some temperatures. But it's not that hot of a day. It's January, no, it's February's, 2nd or 3rd today? Yeah, February 3rd. Right now it's about 80 degrees back here. So about 22 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's go inside and let me show you the temperatures of the rigs themselves. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. So that's rig 11, so that's in the little box. And as you can see, it's running 64 degrees. So rig 1, there we go. So 61, trying to get that glare off of there. So as you can see, yeah, 60 degrees, 63, 62, 63, 62, 61. So they're running nice and cool inside those boxes. Let's go to rig 2. Oh, and by the way, I get a lot of questions about what program I'm using to remote into my rigs, and this is called Remote Desktop Manager. It's basically just a program that will allow multiple RDP connections to your rigs. It supports Linux and other operating systems as well. You can use SSH through this, PuTTY, and of course RDP. So that's what I do. I just RDP to my Windows boxes and use this thing to do it. And get rid of this glare here. Okay, so this is rig 2. And as you can see, 60 degrees, 59, 60, 60, 61, 59. Let's look at rig 3. Yeah, same 60, 60, 59, 58, 57, 58. Let's come on down to rig 6, 63 degrees. Rig 7, 69 degrees. Rig 8, 68 degrees. Rig 9, 64 degrees. Rig 10, 64, 65. Now if you're wondering why, see how these couple of these rigs only show the temperature for one card? That's because I started the miner through the RDP session. For some reason on AMD rigs, if you start the miner through an RDP session, it will only display temperatures for one for one card. Strange, huh? If I was to go out there and hook a monitor up to the rig and start it that way, then it would show them all. But anyhow, that's how it is. So yeah, temperatures are nice. Those rigs, or those mining box enclosures, work fantastic. Oh yeah, somebody wanted us to look inside that little box. This is a rig I had to bring inside, different from the one I had last weekend. For some reason, this rig is pulling 1200 watts of power. These XFX cards are power hungry. These are RX 480s. Some bitches use some serious power, so I'm gonna tear this thing down and work on power usage for that. But yeah, let me open up this little box for some of you guys. These are the same 7-card rigs. These are RX 480s. Same filter type as the other boxes. Nothing special. These rigs are almost 2 years old now. Been running non-stop. But I don't have the baffles for this. I don't need it in this box because this box is so little. I don't need the baffles. I don't need to redirect any air to come over these cards. So if you only have 2 rigs, this little box is the way to go. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, somebody on YouTube mentioned, hey man, you should get some weather stripping to put on your door. I forgot who it was. Elliot, I think his name is. Anyhow, I took his advice, went to Home Depot and bought some weather stripping. Put on the doors. Works fantastic. This is, it's only about a 1/4 inch thick. It's sticky on one side, so all you do is just stick it on the wood. I also put some staples. Use some staples to attach it, just in case the stickiness wears off. So far, it's doing well. Did it on this one as well. Same thing. Weather stripping works nice. And that weather stripping was only $4 a roll, or like $3.50 something a roll. It was enough to do one box or one door. Yeah, I had a lot of questions on how I mounted this. It's just basically some cheap hinges from Lowe's. Cut some plywood. I put a 1x2 on it to give it some stability. Used hinges to mount it, and I just used a piece of military cord to give it the right level, and I can adjust it if I need to. But right now, this is right where it needs to be. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it. As for measurements, these boxes are 3 feet high, 4 feet wide, and 4 feet deep. So 3 by 4 by 4. And this fan is a 24-inch Max Air. I got this at Home Depot. It's a 2-speed, and I've got it on low right now. Works fantastic for pumping out the heat. This fan is a Utilitech 24-inch fan, and I got this one at Lowe's. These are both the exact same price. That was 120 bucks. This is 120 bucks. For a smaller box, you don't need this gigantic fan. You can use one of these little ones. I got this. This is a Utilitech. I got this at Lowe's for like $45. Somebody asked me what gauge extension cords am I using. Only use 12 gauge or larger extension cords. Don't use anything smaller, they will burn out. So all my extension cords are 12 gauge or thicker. I've got one that's 10 gauge as well. But they're expensive. 10 gauge extension cords are pricey as hell. I guess that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I finally got these things done and set up the way I want them, and they're working great. And we'll see how they do during the summer. The boxes I had last summer did just fine, but these should do a little bit better, mainly because of those baffles inside, redirecting that air. Now, with that being said, I do know one thing I forgot to mention. Excuse me, guys. With these baffles installed, I do notice that the exhaust fan is working harder. And I guess it's because, number one, I'm using skinnier air filters, so it's less air. Well, I don't want to say skinnier. They're just different dimension air filters aimed to direct better air over the GPUs. Instead of what I had before, I had the 20 by 20 inch, and a lot of air was getting wasted by those, but not these. These are going directly over the GPUs. But with these baffles installed, I think it's making the exhaust fan work a little harder. That's what it seems like. So it makes the air have to make an extra turn. But the GPUs are definitely running much cooler with these baffles on. Whether it puts more strain on the fan and maybe kill this fan in the future, we'll see. I'm not sure. If it does die, I'll let you guys know. All right, guys. That's it. I've gotten a lot of comments about the crypto market taking a huge crap here lately. Just hodl, man. Hodl, hodl, hodl. It'll come back. All right, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you later.